Good afternoon and welcome to this consultation webinar for the site at 160 High Street, Holywood, Lesley, Demesne. Before we begin this webinar, everybody is on mute and you are not visible on camera. My name is David Fry and I am from Gravis Planning. I am joined by one of my colleagues from Gravis Planning, Stuart Clark, and Jacqueline Mawinney from Coogan & Co, the project architects. Jacqueline will shortly begin her presentation on the proposals before responding to questions at the end. In terms of how you can ask a question, if you hover over the presentation with your mouse or on the keypad, the third button in from the left is the chat function. If you click on that, that will then open up a panel on the right-hand side, which will allow you to submit questions at the bottom of the panel. You can do this now throughout the presentation or at its end. These questions will then be considered at the end of the presentation or responded to by email. The webinar itself is recorded and will be publicly available on the project website. By joining the webinar, you are consenting to its recording and us reading out any questions you may have. If you don't want these to appear on the subsequent recording, please let us know. And of course, if we read out any of the questions, we won't make public your name or any of your personal details. In terms of the formal process so far for the project, the proposal of application notice for this proposal was lodged with Ards and North Down Borough Council Service on the 3rd of June. Leaflets were then delivered to residents week commencing the 13th of July. Under normal circumstances, consultation with the wider public on the proposal would have taken place through a public event. However, due to the current COVID-19 social distancing restrictions, the public consultation event is being held online, with the consultation commencing on Monday the 20th of July and running through until Friday the 7th of August. This webinar therefore forms a key part of that consultation. All your views will be considered and responded to in our pre-application community consultation report, which will be submitted with the planning application in the coming months. Then you will be formally consulted by Ards and North Down Borough Council on the proposals through their neighbour notification process. All in all, we would expect this process post-submission to take around 6 months. And with that, I'll hand over to Jacqueline from Coogan & Co.
Thanks, David. As David mentioned, I am Jacqueline Mawinney, a planner at Coogan & Co Architects. I will be taking you through the concept, inspiration and design of Lesley Demesne. This image currently on screen shows the location of the site outlined in red. The site is approximately 5.9 hectares and is bounded by High Street, Sullivan Upper School, and housing on My Lady's Mile and Norwood Lane. 17 houses and 13 apartments are proposed on the site. The site is located within Holywood South area of Townscape Character, or ATC. In terms of urban form, this is one of town's most distinguishable areas. Within the ATC, there is a variety of plot sizes with substantial dwellings and mature landscaping. This image demonstrates comparable plot sizes of the proposed development with those within the ATC. The concept for the site developed from analysing its setting and context within the ATC. Mature trees occupy a large part of the site, and the location of the trees influence the overall site layout. This site has a tree preservation order. The access road follows the existing access road to reduce any impact on the trees. Within the areas affected by trees, it is proposed to locate a pair of single block apartments, which will be feature landmark buildings. The main part of the site will be occupied by detached housing. Inspiration for the scheme came from analysing the variety of built heritage within the area of Townscape Character. This image shows how key features and detailing from houses within the ATC inspired houses within the proposed development at Lesley Demesne. This includes Tudor-esque detailing such as hipped roofs and gabled bays, decorative cornicing and horizontal string courses. These images are all available on the proposal website if you want to read them in more detail. As I'm aware, there's a lot on the screen at the minute, so you can have a read at them afterwards. This image shows the landscape proposal. Existing trees will be protected and supplemented with an extensive planting scheme. Large areas of open space are proposed, with paths and seating areas provided. The areas of open space are located in the front half of the site, around the apartments, with the existing stream running through them. The next series of images show a bird's eye view of the proposed scheme. As you can see, the trees around the site are retained, providing screening and creating a mature landscape for the development. This is the viewpoint of the scheme from High Street. The image shows the position of the two landmark buildings, which are located in clearings on the way into the site. This is the view from the southeast corner of the site. A mix of individually designed houses is proposed, which provides variety and contrast. The materials used include red brick, render, slate and terracotta tiles. The houses have been based on fine examples of architecture within the ATC. This view is from the southwest. The houses have been positioned in order to retain the existing trees and wildlife on site. The existing trees will provide screening and ensure that there is no unacceptable visual impact. Large areas of open space will be retained to the front of the site, with paths and seating areas introduced. This view is from the northeast and shows the context of the site within the immediate surroundings. Sullivan Upper School is shown in the top left corner, Norwood Lane in the bottom left corner, and Craig Tower in the bottom right corner. The image shows how the retention of the existing trees and supplementary planting provide substantial screening. This aerial view shows the layout of the proposal and demonstrates the generous gardens and large areas of open space that are provided. You can see the road runs through the open space areas, past the landmark buildings and into the detached houses. This view from the west shows how well the development integrates into the setting of the site and the wider context. This is the site viewed from the northwest. The view shows the landmark buildings on the way into the site and how they relate to the substantial dwellings fronting onto High Street. The next series of images show internal views within the development. There is a variety of housing set in generous gardens. Each has been individually designed and includes features such as canted bays, flat-top dormers, and Tudor-esque detailing, all inspired by the area of townscape character. The houses each have 4 to 6 bedrooms. The mature setting and existing planting will be supported by sensitive landscape scheme. The streetscape is enhanced by native hedge planting, feature trees, decorative railings and pillars. This is a visual of the landmark building located in prominent position overlooking the open space as you enter the site. This building will house 8 apartments. There's also another apartment building, and in total there will be 13 apartments in total with 1 to 3 bedrooms. The apartments range in size from 665 square feet to 1,375 square feet. Again, this visual demonstrates the variety in both form and detailing of the proposed houses. The houses range in size from 1,520 square feet to 2,485 square feet, and all the houses are detached. As can be seen in this visual, the houses have a mix of detail including coins, decorative brackets, single or double bay frontages with a brick and render finish. Each dwelling will be distinctive and based on the best examples of townscape character in the area. The houses are individually designed, but all display the same architectural character, which is in keeping with the area of townscape character. Architecture and landscaping fuse together to make a distinctive place, creating a unique development within a unique setting. Thank you for your time. I will now pass you back to David.
Okay, so now this is the opportunity for questions from anybody who has joined us. Just before we possibly get into that, just a note on obviously the website for the project and how you can continue to submit feedback with the consultation itself closing on Friday. There's obviously an email address for the scheme, a telephone number where you can leave a voicemail and request a call back, and also our postal address. So just in terms of questions that have been raised as we've been talking, and in comments that have been relayed to us beforehand. Jacqueline, one of the ones that has come up is regarding badger sets within the existing site. I don't know whether you want to make any comments on that particularly?
Yes, there is indeed a badger set located within the southwest corner of the site, and we have had an ecologist out to survey the site, and you will note from the plans that there's actually an area that's fenced off, which would be adjacent to site number 23, and that is where the badger set is located, so we're at adequate distance away. It will all be fenced off, so nobody will be able to access it, and we've also created a wildlife border from that, so that they'll be able to move along the boundaries of the site.
Okay, and obviously, as you say, it's pretty, in terms of the site and the trees that are already on the site, there's a very significant tree preservation order. Do you want to just comment on that?
Yes, there is indeed a TPO on the site, and we are proposing to remove 6 trees in total, 2 to facilitate the development and 4 due to poor health, but none of these trees are protected under the tree preservation order.
Okay. A couple of other things that have just come in are with regard to potential overlooking. I think it's on one part of the site which borders onto the area around Norwood Lane.
That's correct.
Anything, Victor, just on that, so people shouldn't pick up on?
Yes, there's been a few concerns raised just with regard to the height difference, and we have now taken that into consideration, and further to those comments, we're going to relook at that area, and it's likely that we will reduce the scale of sites 19 and 20 to be more in keeping with the bungalows that are located in Norwood Lane.
Okay. And I suppose one of the other areas of focus is just around traffic and being a particularly busy road just in and out of the town, and with the school obviously right beside it. Anything to say on that, just you want to note?
Well, as part of the planning application, there will be a transport assessment form and support information submitted, which will address the traffic impacts. A site of this size is unlikely to have too much of an impact, but obviously any concerns that are raised will take on board before the formal submission.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know if there's anything else anybody wants to raise at this stage. We'll leave it for another few seconds or so, but if not, we can leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. As I say, there are still opportunities to submit feedback on what we have talked through today via the various channels, and please feel free to give us a call and we can come back and talk to you on that basis. But other than that, thank you very much for your time, and take care.